Distant Lover by Marvin Gaye might be the greatest performance ever recorded. On this record, we witness a man who was taught to stay composed, unravel in public as he begins wrestling with his feelings in a way that exposes what heartbreak truly sounds like when your dignity finally runs out. Distant Lover is more than a classic, it's a spiritual event, and the song that we'll be breaking down in today's episode of I'm Asar Stevens, and you're watching Track 365 on Spatial. If there's ever a time to hit follow, it's right now. Also, you can listen to this song and every other song I've analyzed on the official Track 365 playlist on Apple Music and Spotify. Link in bio. All right. So let's start with some context. So there's this man who just lost the love of his life, right? And this is in a time where it was much less socially acceptable for men to cry. So all his life, this man was constantly told things like, be strong, or man up, or, you'll be fine, don't cry, right? Things like that. And well, this man tried their advice, like he really did. But the second his lover was gone, his house felt empty in a way that just creeped up on him in the most unexpected way. And so now he's just standing there realizing that all that men don't cry talk doesn't really mean a thing when the only person who made his life feel warm is no longer around.
Play it for me again, y'all. Play the introduction again. I ain't ready. Play it again. Introduction. When you lose the one you love, it's a cold, hard feeling, baby. Lord, well, they say a man ain't supposed to cry, but I lost my baby, and the tears start streaming from my eyes. I used to come home from work, go to my lonely room and say, baby, why did you leave?
He's not trying to be dramatic. He's just overwhelmed. Like, he genuinely didn't expect it to hurt this much. And now he's stuck between what he was taught to be and what he actually feels. And that's where this song truly begins.
Sometimes I get uncomfortable.
The man calls her his distant lover because she's miles away. And I don't just mean physically. There's this gap now that feels bigger than any plane ride, any car ride, or phone call. Metaphorically, one could imagine how that gap must feel like standing on one side of a bridge that suddenly collapsed. You can still see the other person from across the water, and you can remember what it felt like to walk over that bridge, but there's just simply no path there anymore. Then he admits something that most people don't like admitting. The man says that he thinks about her every night, and I'm not talking about it in some poetic way either. I'm talking like he literally thinks about her every night in this restless, can't sleep, staring at the ceiling at 1 a.m. kind of way. Then it even spills into the daytime as well. While at work, going through the motions, he's pretending to function, but in the back of his mind, he's still reaching for her, still wishing that she'd walk through the door. Now, now, this is where his desperation really starts to show. He's asking his distant lover to think about him because deep down, he's terrified that once he's out of her sight, he'll slowly fade from her world altogether. And when he asks strangers to pray for him, that's when we realize how massive this heartbreak feels for him. He's treating his heartache like a storm he can't stand up in, or a gut punch that knocked the air out of him, and he's trying to breathe through it. And like what I'm trying to get at is the scale of this man's heartbreak feels catastrophic. Like, you can almost picture him pacing in his room, replaying conversations and wondering where things went wrong, wondering if she's laughing somewhere without him, wondering if she even thinks about him before she falls asleep like he does. Because for him, being forgotten by his lover might hurt more than being left, as being forgotten would send him down a spiral of misery.
Think about me sometimes more. Think about me,
He describes himself stranded in misery, and I really think that specific word choice matters, because misery sounds like a place that he's stuck in rather than some emotion that's passing through, you know what I mean? Which is why he begs for her to save him. He built part of his identity around this now distant lover's presence, so without her, he feels incomplete. And I personally think that what makes this so powerful is how he doesn't even fucking try to pretend that he's above any of it. And that vulnerability flips the script on everything that he was taught earlier about men needing to be strong and not crying. So more than this song showing us a man begging for his lover, it's showing us a man realizing he literally doesn't know who he is without the person he loved. When we get to the bridge of this song, he does what most of us would do when the present moment hurts too much. He goes back and he reminisces, particularly on a summer that they spent together, like this movie that he can't stop watching. The sunlight, the warmth, all the promises that felt solid at the time, and all the letters they sent back and forth to each other was proof that what they had together was real. But then, all of a sudden, again, the specific wording of these lyrics are really important. He doesn't say the relationship faded away. He doesn't say it slowly drifted apart. No, he says the relationship literally exploded. And by using such a violent word to end something so beautiful without warning feels so destabilizing. Yeah, I kind of get why he's feeling this way now. He's probably still in shock. So now he's back where the song began, standing in front of his window and staring down an empty road. An image that says a lot without saying much, by the way, because a road typically represents movement and life, but the one this man stares at feels abandoned, like it leads somewhere he can't follow. So the bridge of this song shows us the golden memory of what he and his lover had, and the silent stretch of empty road that he has in front of him now. And that contrast makes the loneliness that Marvin Gaye sings about feel even louder. So now in the third verse, we hear something new in his voice, frustration. He finally asks the question that's been sitting under all his begging. How could you treat my heart like this? How could you turn something that once felt so safe into something so sharp? But even in that frustration, he says every single moment meant something real to him. And those moments are memories that he'll hold on to like rare stones. So he's angry, but he's still honoring what they had. And that contradiction is so real, because sometimes the person who breaks you into pieces is the very same person who gave you the happiest days of your life. And this is where the song stops feeling like a recording and starts feeling like an actual spiritual event.
When you left, you took all of me with you. Now I'm praying, Father, she won't let me believe and scream and get on my knees. I don't know, please.
In his live performances, Marvin Gaye is known for falling to his knees at this point in the song, just like in the performance that we're watching right now. I believe this is because now his heartbreak is embodied in every meaning of the word, as before his heartbreak was contained as something internal. But now his body literally gives out in the same way his composure did earlier in the song, as the man who said men aren't supposed to cry ends the performance kneeling in front of thousands of people in tears. And while he's down there, the band explodes into this dramatic cascade of horns and drums, which almost feel triumphant in a weird way because the lyrics are still very desperate. But I would be lying if I said that contrast didn't make the ending to the song feel so grand, because somehow this eruption of cascading horns and exploding drums playing behind the sound of a man who has been completely wrecked by heartbreak and surrendered his pride feels less like weakness and more like a much-earned catharsis. It feels like a man finally bearing his soul in front of the world that told him to stay shut, hoping that somewhere across the silence of the audience, this message that he shouts will finally reach his distant lover.